schools now hold so much responsibility for assessing and funding the IDPs. Now, remember, those in England, IDP is the Welsh version of an EHCP. So we're doing our bit on the ground. Then it's up to the next layer up, the schools, to do their bit. Then it's up to the local authorities to do their bit. And I remember campaigning once on the ground for more funding, and the local authority came out and joined me and said, we agree, we want the message. And they spoke to the media on site and said, this is a message from us. We're standing united with the parents. By the way, this is a terrible local authority, but we're standing united with the parents, and we're saying to the government, please fund us. And I'm thinking, yeah, but who's funding your legal fees? Because you're never having difficulty finding them. Anyway, so one of the major differences I've seen when I've, and I spend a lot of time in Wales, and I really listen to you guys. I still don't fully understand it all, if I'm honest, and I definitely couldn't advocate effectively, not the way that you guys do. But one of the major differences that I see in Wales is that schools now hold so much responsibility for assessing and funding the IDPs. Now, remember, those in England, IDP is the Welsh version of an EHCP. So schools out there, how do you feel about funding and assessing for and holding responsibility? This is nothing to do with the local authority. How do you feel about being responsible for the money and the provision attached to an EHCP? So talk to me, ladies, about how that has played out in reality. Like, what is the funding like? What are the ALN doing? Do they have a class to teach? Are schools struggling with the money? Like, what's going on?
What is going on? My view, my experience is that they're all different, even in local authorities. So yes, you approach the school first. If you've got any concerns around your child having additional learning needs and needs some extra support, you always go to the school. It's down to the school to make that decision on ALN, whether they feel that an IDP. Now, let's put it straight out there. If your child's got ALN, in theory, if it's above the rest of the class, so say we've got a class of 20 children, obviously we're closer to 30 in most of them, but say we've got a class of 20 and 5 of those have extra reading, some sensory movement, realistically, they should have an IDP. That's what the aim of the government was to change this. In reality, do they? No. Really, there is still a lot of families I meet that say we're being refused, we're told there's no ALN.
Or they offer an IEP, don't they? And they hang on to that, and they don't want to change it to an IDP.
And do they trick parents? Sorry to say, but do they trick parents into thinking that the IEP is the same as the IDP?
Yes, some. I'm not going to speak generically because I do have different experiences. But yes, I would say that they don't have to.
They kind of say, well, it covers the same thing. They're getting the same support. Yeah, but it's got no legal standing. That's the difference.
Yeah, so they can't challenge it. So if you've got an IEP and you're saying, the child has some extra reading time, a sensory break every day with sensory circuits or whatever, and they have some speech and language therapy, they can at any time pull that away on an IEP. But if it's written into an IDP, then it's legally binding. They can't go pulling it, not without evidence.
But what I also see, some practice I see, Krista, is that some schools are making these this is the term I cringe every time I hear it, universal provision. I'm in a meeting and my poker face is not the best, and I'm going, please don't say that. So they're putting sensory equipment in the class so all the children have access to it. So they don't need an IDP because all the children have access to this. And I'm like, wow.
That's just not, that's not provision.
It's not person-centered. No. It's not the aim of we want an IDP